don't know if there's a rescue going on. The lifeguard or Coast Guard, one of the two, boat has their lights on. And they're going around in circle like they're looking for someone, maybe. I don't know what's going on there. Can you guys see that? He's got his lights on. And now he's headed out, so maybe it's just a drill. I don't know. Hey, good morning, Belf. Good morning, Monica. Or should I say, see you, Belf? Gotta say it right. People just stopped and looked at me funny. Screaming Belf like that. Sorry about the background noise. There's a guy doing trimming with a weed whacker at the park behind me. He's moving down the other way, so I figured he's almost done. He'll be stopped soon. How are you guys? I am giddy. I'm so excited. It's almost September, guys. It's almost September. My guy comes in September, so I'm really excited. I'm really excited. So far, he's still tolerating me. I don't know how. But, yeah, I'm excited. Monica, I had a crappy week. At least yesterday and the day before were totally crappy. Tuesday, I park. I say hi to this lady. I chat her up for a second. Ask her how the water was today, because she was leaving as I was coming. Hey, look at this cute dog. Hey, baby. Hi. Bye-bye. Owner's on the phone, so I didn't stop. Excited to meet the gentleman suitor. Yes, moi as well. Belf, I'm really excited. So, okay, I'm parking. She's getting ready to leave. I chat her up. I leave. I'm walking to the beach. I no sooner had taken off my sandals and had walked maybe 5 feet into the sand, but she comes running up behind me. Ma'am, lady, hey, lady. I turn around and she's like, I just tore the bumper off your car. I was like, what? And I stayed really friendly with her and calm, because first of all, she could have just taken off. I would have never known who did that. And I had just spoken to her, and she's a nice lady. So everything was calm and nice, and we exchanged information. But what had happened was when she backed up, she apparently backed up into my car just slightly, but enough to get her tow hitch caught under my bumper. So then when she went to pull forward and drive away, she pulled off my whole front end, the whole front bumper and grill and everything. So I go back, call the insurance, getting the runaround with them, and then I'm waiting an hour or whatever for the tow truck. All in the hot sun in my bathing suit. And I haven't eaten breakfast because all I have is my protein shake in the morning. But at least I had that. And I still had coffee left. So I was just sitting there having my coffee, waiting for the tow truck. Anyway, the lady on the insurance, I said, well, I know you work with, let's say, XYZ company. And there's one near me. We could tow to there. And she said, yes, that's true. We do work with XYZ company. No problem. We'll arrange that. Tow truck driver picks me up. We go to XYZ. Luckily, the tow truck driver was still there. Someone had been blocking their drive, so the guy couldn't get in yet. And so I'm sitting there. I'm having coffee because they offered me coffee. I'm sitting there having coffee. I mention my car. They ask what insurance, and then they go, oh, we don't take that insurance here. I said, that's weird. I've taken my car here before, and the insurance company said you do. He's like, yes, some of our locations do, but we don't anymore. So I had to run back out, grab the tow truck driver. I had to pay for a second tow to the next location, right? He takes me to the next location. He gave me a discount because there was still a couple of miles left on my free amount of miles, so that was nice at least. Get to the next location. I'm waiting forever. No one's available to check me in, blah, blah, blah. The lights in there were horrible. I said, I've got to sit down. The lights are really bothering me. I'm starting to have, I have a seizure disorder, and I'm starting to have seizures. So I sit down, I wait there for a while. Finally, they get a rental car company to come pick me up, drive across town to the rental car company. I'm sitting there for a while just to find out, oh, well, your insurance doesn't cover a rental car. You'd have to pay out of pocket. Well, I just don't have it. I just don't have that kind of money lying around. And my credit card is full right now. So I just couldn't do it. And I said, well, it should be on the person who did the accident, should be on her insurance. And they said, yes, it will be. But for the meanwhile, you have to pay. But I just don't have it. So by then, I was really falling downhill fast because by then it's after 1. I still haven't eaten. And I'd already had some of my chronic jerks. Hey, Big Chief. Nice to see you. I thought of you. The water's lovely today. And so my neighbor, as soon as she heard I needed picked up, she was there like Johnny on the spot. I've done the same for her a number of times. And so we're each other's backup. And she was there immediately. And by the time she got there, I was having jerks. I was losing my voice. By the time I got home, I'd lost my voice completely. And I was just so exhausted. 5 hours in the hot sun, walking around in my bathing suit, mind you. Not fun for a woman. So I was stressed out about the car, stressed out about the bathing suit. I stayed in really upbeat, good spirits the whole time because, what are you going to do? Shit happens. But it was just still too overwhelming for me with the heat. So I laid down and crashed. So that was my Tuesday. And then Wednesday, yesterday, I spent 3 hours just waiting for well, first I spent a good half hour on the phone with my insurance company. And they're like, well, you don't have rental car coverage. And this is all on your insurance. I said, well, it shouldn't be on my insurance. I was parked and had walked away from the car. It's the other, and they're like, well, we still haven't been able to get a hold of her. AKA, they hadn't bothered to try because I said, well, I have her number. She was nice and she gave me her number. I'll call her myself. Soon as I said I'll call her myself, they were on the phone and had her, and she said, yes, this happened. And they got it all transferred to her insurance. And suddenly the wheels were turning. So then I called the car rental place. They said, we give the driver pickup time of about an hour, but he'll be there in like 15 minutes. Don't worry. I was like, great. 2 hours go by. No sign of him. No call. I call them back. I'm like, it's been 2 hours. You said 15 minutes to an hour, and it's been 2 hours. Oh, so sorry. I'll send him over right away. He'll be there in 15 minutes. Hour later, he finally comes, picks me up. He tells me as he's going in, you go ahead and go in and have a seat. I'll be right in behind you, and I'll check you in. So I said, fine. I go in, sit down. Luckily, I'd brought knitting because I started knitting while waiting that 3 hours. It's the only reason I was so patient with that 3 hours. So I was knitting. People come in behind me, go up to the counter and get checked in. And I'm thinking, well, he told me to sit here and wait. So he's the one working with me. So I'm not going to bother this other lady. He never comes back. He went on a break. So after a while, she turns to me and says, let me check you in. And I said, oh, the guy said she's like, oh, he left for a break. So he was gone for like an hour. I never saw him again except for a brief few minutes at the end where he came in and grabbed something and then said, oh, I'm still on break, and left. And she was overwhelmed. She had like 8 people coming and going and only her behind the counter. She was very nice, but you could tell she was tired and busy and overworked, and she was doing her best to maintain. So I was really patient with her, but again, I had my knitting, or else I might not have been quite so patient. But I chilled everyone else out and said, hey, she's a really nice girl. She's doing a great job. She's just overworked. She's only one of her. She's got to take care of all of us. It's just, it's going to be one at a time. So when I went back out, she thanked me for that. And gave me a discount on my deposit only, though. You get the deposit back. But still, it pays to be nice to people when you see they're trying their best. And so I got my rental car. It's super cute. But again, by then, because didn't have my voice in the morning, and I had just gotten it back. So still just exhausted from the day before. So I went home and crashed again. Slept half the day. And still slept well last night. Although I had a bad nightmare, but I slept really well. So apparently I just needed a lot of sleep. I was just exhausted. Not that you guys care about that detailed of an update, but it was just a crap couple of days. But today I woke up feeling good again, so I went swimming. I'm not gonna push myself too hard. I've got crap to do before my guy comes out. So I waxed my legs. I waxed my legs last night. And I want to give myself a pedicure today. And I have to fix that shelf still. I fixed one side and then the other bracket gave away. I thought the other bracket was in the stud. It turned out it wasn't. I had just positioned it artistically instead of structurally soundly. And I thought one side was in the bracket, but I lined it up with the shelf below. The shelf below is in the wall stud, but on the other end, and this is a shorter shelf, so just didn't end up getting into a stud like I thought it was. So I gotta fix that. I gotta fix a drawer, that one that the dovetails came out loose. That happened. So I gotta fix that still, and I wanna fix those before he comes out. And I wasn't able to fix my AC. I couldn't get the replacement cord from the manufacturer because I don't manufacture anymore. But I decided to ask my neighbor to help me carry it down because it's too heavy for me. And just after I did that, I thought, well, let me check one more time. And I was able to find a replacement cord. It's not from the manufacturer. It's not an exact match as far as that goes. However, they say it's compatible and will work. And it was only like 25, 30 bucks, something like that. And I was like, that's worth trying, but rather than throw away a $500-600 air conditioner, if I can get it fixed. So that's what we're up to now. But the cord won't arrive until after my guy leaves. So it's going to take a while to get the cord. I won't be specific about the dates on that. I just realized I might be giving too much away if I do that. But yeah, it was a big week. Thanks for caring, Monica. That's sweet. Yeah, it was a rough couple of days. But my attitude was good the whole way through because I'm just so excited. And, shit happens. Your car's going to have dings. Shit happens. But yeah, the whole front end of my car was ripped off. She had one of those tow hitches that juts out, and it was just the right height to catch my car on it. Sucks. But she was really nice about it. She could have very easily driven off. I was down by the ocean. I couldn't hear it because of the waves. I wouldn't have known. So kudos to her, sweet lady. And I'll get reimbursed for the car. So, it is what it is. And I've got a really cute rental car. It's much nicer than my car. And I have to call them back today and see if they'll, because I need it, well, I can't say anymore. I need it for a road trip coming up. Or I need my car back in time. So I need to find out when am I getting my car back, how many days is the rental car good for, all of that. I gotta figure that out. So, gotta call the collision place or the body shop and then call the car rental place and get it sorted. Yes. Sure. Yeah, no problem.
Thank you so much.
Just give me a second. Gotta pick everything up. I'm on a live stream. I don't think she understood what I was saying. The guy that just did the trimming left grass clippings everywhere, so she needs me to move so the grass clippings can be swept up. Anyway, it seems so quiet today. There's like no one here. It's because it was sprinkling when I left the house. It was raining this morning, so I didn't get my walk this morning, which is just as well. I don't need to be pushing myself so hard right now after the last 2 days. And then it was still raining when I left for here. And I know a lot of people wouldn't bother coming to the beach if it's raining. But I'm just going to get in the water. Guys, I'm going to get wet. So what do I care if it's a little drizzly? So I just went anyway. And but by the time I got here, it had stopped. So there's no rain now. Irish! Hi! Yeah, it's bad luck. But you know what, Monica? Best case scenario. I had insurance. She had insurance. It's all going to get taken care of. Yeah, I had a crappy 2 days from it, and I'm sure she'd be really upset to hear that that's the effect it had on me. But that was, things happen. And it's not her fault I'm sick, and it wasn't her intention to do harm to me. And she did the best to take care of the situation by notifying me immediately. She could have just let me walk off to have my day at the beach and swim, and then I would have come out of the ocean exhausted having to deal with all of that. So, honestly, it's best case scenario. Shit happens. At least everything's getting taken care of. It did take 2 days out of my week that I really could have used to get some shit done. We all have shit to do. Sorry I'm saying shit so much today. Potty mouth. Yeah, exactly. It'll get better. I stayed upbeat about it all. I'm so excited my guy's coming out. And like I said, it was best case scenario. She had insurance, I had insurance. Happened to be the same insurance, so that might have helped us some. But yeah, they kept trying to put it all on my insurance, and I was like, no, the other lady. I wasn't even in the car, guys. So think again. And they're like, well, we need to get her side of the story. I'm like, well, then contact her. But they hadn't yet. I was like, I'll just call her myself. And they're like, what's her number? And I said the number. And then they realized I really did have her number. And so they were like, oh, we'll call her. So I called, but they were already on the phone with her when I called. They called her that quickly. But it's funny how the whole 28 hours before, 24 hours before, they couldn't get a hold of her. It's like, yeah, did you try calling her? Because that usually works pretty well. Not that I'm bitter. But yeah, they're just like, oh, we'll do it eventually. And they kind of drag their feet and blah, blah, blah. It'll be cheaper for them to go under my insurance since I would have to pay a big deductible. Whereas with her insurance, they were going to be liable for all my coverage, But luckily, she said, yes, it was my fault. That is what happened. And because she was so nice to me, I took pictures of what the situation was. But then when they said they couldn't get a hold of her, I started to worry because I thought, oh, I didn't get her recorded saying it was her fault, and I didn't get witness statements. And by outside looking in, it could easily look like I hit her because it was my front end, her back end. So it could easily look that way. Or she could say it was that way, and then it would be a no-fault claim, and we'd both be responsible for our own cars, which obviously she had no damage at all. So, yeah, after the fact, I was like, damn, that was stupid. Just because she was nice to me in person doesn't mean she might not change her story once, she thinks about it, or her husband's involved, or whatever. Her lawyer friend gets involved, or whoever. So, note to self, if you can get a recording of them saying it's their fault and get a witness phone number, do it. That was stupid of me not to have done that just because she was nice. But, she immediately ran and got me, exchanged information, so I just thought everything was fine. But, yeah, exactly, Bill. Oh, I had the front end pulled off my car, Irish. I just parked at the beach. She was just coming from the beach. So I said, oh, hey, good morning. How was the waves? How's the water? Blah, blah, blah. Went on my way. Next thing I know, I had just taken off my sandal and I had walked maybe 5 feet into the sand. She comes running up behind me. Hey, ma'am, lady, hey. And I turn around and she's like, I just ripped the front end off your car. What had happened was when she backed up to leave, the tow hitch on her car caught under my bumper. So then when she went to drive away, she pulled the whole front end off my car. The whole front, the grill, the bumper, it's all in one piece. So the whole thing came off and all the clips broke. And so then I had it all lying in front of me, except it was still attached on one side. Well, I probably should have just pulled it off, thrown it in the back seat, and went to the auto body shop. But I was afraid to do that. I was afraid to cause more damage. And so I left it as is and called insurance and waited for a tow truck instead. Because I don't know what kind of damage is done. I don't want to drive without the front grille and everything. What kind of damage will I do to my engine should like a piece of trash blow up against it and get sucked into the engine or something without the grill there. So I thought better not to F around and find out. Yeah, no, it was totally okay. I wasn't even in the car. I was walking to the beach. That lady could have easily have just driven off. I didn't even hear it happen because all I could hear was the waves. I was, headed towards the beach. And if she hadn't have grabbed me, I wouldn't have found out until like an hour later after I was exhausted from my swim, at least a half hour, exhausted from my swim, and then would have had to deal with all that. But yeah, it was a really rough day for me, Irish, because I ended up between the tow truck and the auto body shop and then going to a different auto body shop because they sent me to the wrong auto body shop and then to the car place to rent a car, and then I couldn't rent a car and I had to wait for my neighbor to come get me. It was just like a really long day in the hot sun. Because guys, this is when we have our summer. You guys have been commenting on how cool it's been in San Diego. Yeah, but August and September are like our summer. It's our hottest months of the year. Sometimes all the way through October, super hot. And so I spent 5 hours in the hot sun just in my bathing suit with the stress of the car, with already being excited because my guy's coming out in September, just like all this stuff. And so it overwhelmed me. I had a bunch of seizures. The lights were bad in the place. I hadn't eaten because all I'd had was my protein shake in the morning. I usually eat after my swim. And so it just was all too much. And I had a bunch of seizures. I lost my voice for, I don't know, like, what was it, 16, 18 hours, something like that. And then yesterday, 3 hours waiting for the rental car. And then another hour at the rental car place because the girl was the only one working. The other guy had taken off on a break. And it's just 2 exhausting days. So half day yesterday and half day Tuesday, I was just in bed. Just couldn't talk, couldn't move, exhausted, took a nap. But today I woke up a lot stronger. I got my in. I got a pretty good swim too, which reminds me I forgot to text my guy. I was out of the water. I usually tell him when I get in and out because he worries about me, so especially after having almost drowned that one time. He'll worry about me. Guys, I'm going to do that really quickly right now. I'll be right back. Sorry. It might seem weird to people that I check in with him, but it's not like he's controlling and I check in with him. There's a big difference. It's I have a seizure disorder and I'm out in the world by myself, pushing myself past my own boundaries sometimes, past better judgment sometimes, going out swimming by myself, and he worries about me. So that's why I check in with him, because he's like demanding it, just because I really appreciate that he cares enough to worry about me, but I don't want to make him worry more than necessary, or have him start saying, well, you shouldn't go out, you should, so I just check in with him so he has peace of mind. She's okay. Yeah, the rest of the week's going to be amazing. I'm going to do the knitting stream Saturday, and it's almost September. Monday is September, and he's coming out in September, so it won't be long now. So I'm really excited about that. Cute little boy. Look at his thumb holding his binky. Very cute. So, I'm in good spirits, Irish, because, shit happens. That lady was so nice to me. She didn't mean to pull the front end off my car. So, we were both really nice to each other, and I didn't freak out. I just was like, once you have kids, stuff like this that are easily taken care of, yeah, it might take money and it might take time, but it's like in 5 years, will you even worry about it or think about it? No. Like, once you have kids and you know real trouble, you don't get all riled up about the stupid shit, because stupid shit's always going to be there. It's always going to be stupid shit happening. But yeah, you can probably hear my voice sounds weak today. It's because I didn't have my voice for most of yesterday and the day before. Like, it was in and out yesterday, but I was just really trying to rest it and not talk. So I really don't know how much. It would have gone out last night had I kept talking, because I said hello to my neighbor and just said like 2 sentences, and it was starting to get weak again, so I stopped talking. Speaking of, I should probably save my voice today so that I have it for the knitting stream and everything. It's just when I get super exhausted, I lose my voice altogether. And yeah, the rest of the week's gonna be better. And just the cat's hurt. That's funny. Yeah, the cat's fine. The car's fine too. That's funny, Irish. Thanks for the hugs, Irish. That's sweet. I'd love an Irish hug. Irish people are so kind and sweet. At least that's been my experience. Save for that one I told you a story about. But he was an exception because I went to Ireland once and the people there were so nice and so lovely, going out of their way to help me when the buses weren't running on a Sunday back then. And I needed to get to the ferry. This lovely couple drove like 20 minutes out of their way to make sure I made it back to my ferry in time so I wouldn't miss my ferry. And just super sweet people in Ireland. I found them all to be very lovely. Anyway, I am going to get off of here. I have to call one of my squirrels. When I went to message my guy, I saw my squirrel said, call me when you get out. So, hey, Peter. Oh, Peter, you got here. Oh, okay. Well, I had forgotten it. Oh, yeah, no, Thursday. It's never on Thursday. So that's why I do my update streams on Thursday, Peter. But yeah, I need to rest my voice. I need to run to the store, grocery store, a few things, and I'm going to run to the shops. I don't, like, this is, like, some of my things don't fit. I'll just say that. So I need to get a few things. Oh, well, Brad's not here. I wanted to save this comment for Brad. Brad's been asking for a bikini pic because I said I was wearing a bikini, but under my rash guard, guys. So it's just like wearing a bra under a shirt. It's no different than that. But I wear the rash guard over it, and I'm completely zipped up. No one sees the bikini. Anyway, Brad was joking he wanted bikini pics, and it made me think, oh, maybe I should send my guy a bikini pic. So I didn't send him a complete bikini pic, but I unzipped my rash guard so you can see my bikini top, and I sent him that, and he really liked it. So thanks, Brad, for the suggestion. Made me send a fit pic. It wasn't a thirst trap. It wasn't a sexy one. I was just showing him how fit I am, and showing him my bikini top. But yeah, I was saving that for Brad, but Brad's not here. Brad can be a little spicy once in a while. But yeah, I don't walk around in my bikini top, that's for damn sure. I always have the rash guard on. I'm always like buttoned up and covered up. I've got on a skirt bottom even. It's not even like a bikini bottom. It's a skirt, you know, like short skirt sort of thing. And oh, actually it's not a short. It's like bikini bottom with a skirt over it. And then I got on my rash guard and a big floppy hat and sunglasses and a towel around my waist. So I'm like extremely buttoned up and covered up. I don't walk around like that. But I thought, oh, my guy, I'd let see my bikini top. So I decided to do it because Brad kept asking. And I told Brad, like, Brad, only my guy's going to get to see that because I don't walk around like that. I'm too old for that kind of thing. But even when I was young and hot, I didn't do that sort of thing. I was always very self-conscious. You know, once you hit puberty and guys start looking at you differently, it can be really uncomfortable. So I always wore a big shirt when I went swimming to keep covered up. I don't need that kind of attention, you know? Especially if you've had like any sort of bad experience with a guy. You don't want all the men looking at you like that. So I just keep really covered up. So, yeah, exactly, Irish. I don't need my bum burned. I don't need a sunburn on me bum or on my back or stomach or something. I did get burned on my breasts once. I did go topless once, but I was at a state beach and there was nobody there. It was just me and my boyfriend. So yeah, around my boyfriend, I'll go topless. And we fell asleep. I woke up so sunburned, but luckily I had rolled over, so it was my back that was really sunburned, not my boobs, because that would have been awful. But generally speaking, I'm very covered up at the beach. But what was I saying? Oh, the girls with the cheeky bikinis, more power to them. I'm not trying to shame anyone for being secure and comfortable with their bodies, I think it's brilliant. They should be. We should normalize seeing women's body parts instead of sexualizing women's body parts. And they look adorable on them. That doesn't bother me one bit. You wear a string bikini, girl. Be proud. Be confident. More power to you. It's just that's not me. That's all. So yeah, I'm not shaming anyone who is like secure in their own skin. I just personally, I'm not. Anyway, I should go. I gotta call my squirrel. What is it? Soles or feet were the worst. Not a. Oh, I had the tops of my feet burned one time, Irish. I was walked onto the beach, put sunscreen on, and my feet were covered in sand. And you know, when you're trying to rub sunscreen on and you got sand, it's just like rubbing sandpaper into your skin. And I thought, oh, my feet are covered anyways, so it doesn't matter. So I didn't put any sunscreen on my feet and was out at the beach with my squirrels for the day. So I was out for hours. By the time I left, my feet were so sunburned because the little sand crystals act as little magnifying glasses. So I was super burned. My feet swelled up so bad I had to wear slippers to work for like, I don't know, 4 days, three to 5 days, something like that. I think it was the whole week. I had to wear my slippers to work. My feet were balloons for days and so burnt. So yeah, feet can be pretty bad. So tip to anyone, I now either put my sunscreen on before I leave the house, but if it's one of those times I'm just like running out the door, I put it on in the parking lot before I even get to the beach, because it's just so much easier not have to rub it in when you have sand everywhere, because it's like rubbing sandpaper on you. So I sunscreen up, then head to the beach. Don't give two F what I do. Exactly. Do you, babes? I don't care. Why would I have an opinion on what someone else is wearing or doing or how comfortable they are? I think more people should be comfortable with nudity and body parts, especially women's, because we over-sexualize women's body parts. And why not? Who cares? It's a breast. Get over it. It's a hiney. Get over it. But some people are very closed about nudity. I happen to be pretty closed about my own nudity. I tried not to be around my kids because I wanted them to have a more relaxed attitude about nudity. But I only did that up till like maybe 5. After that, I just didn't feel comfortable either. So I wasn't very good at that. That was my mindset, that I wanted that. I wanted to be. You know, it's funny. I had the same mindset about wine too. I was like, we should be like more like the Europeans. Kids should be given a tiny taste of wine at holiday meals, so that they know what it's like and what it does, and you know, get a taste for moderate consumption, and that this is the expectation. It's just a little sip. It's not meant to get you trashed. Anyway, my kids had absolutely no interest at all. They were taught so much anti-alcohol in school. They just never had any interest. They never took me up on it, even though I'd say, would you like a little taste of wine at Christmas? I'm not talking 7 years old. I'm talking 14, you know. But they just never had any interest. You know, it might have been like 16, you know. It's not like they were little. They never had any interest, and still to this day, they barely drink. If they drink, it's like a beer at a party, and like a cocktail at New Year's, a cocktail at Christmas. They're not heavy drinkers. Different generations, you know, different acceptance and understanding of alcohol. Anyways, I do need to go, and I should be saving my voice so I don't lose it again today. Hey, Mock. Mock, you missed the whole story. You'll have to go back and listen to it. It was a crazy week. I can't make it like right away though, guys. It takes a while. It takes like an hour or 2 to upload, and then I can make it public. But I usually just leave them private because I don't do this for anyone else. I do this for me. But I'll make this one public just because it's a crazy story, and so Mock can see it. But it will take me an hour or 2. And she might not even be interested in seeing it. Who knows? Who knows? I don't know. Anyway, I should go. Love you guys. Thank you so much for being here and supporting me. Men should always wear pants. Just saying. Yeah. Irish, you might be right about that. You might be right about that. That there's actually a little story about that happened Tuesday. So on the way to the car place, there was just randomly some guy walking down the street naked. I have no idea what the story was there. All I saw was his bum. But yeah, guy walking down the street naked. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Go out and do something fun, guys. Have a great day. Bye.